Hey everybody, Tim here again, of course, and we're doing another scale video today. So if you remember last time we talked about what the major scale was all about. Some of you probably knew what that was already, but as promised we're going to go over the three types of minor scales in the next three videos. So today we're going to go over the natural minor scale, the first type, and the three types of minor scales. So let's just get started and see what we have going on today. So today we're going to talk about the formula of the minor scale. We're also, let me make this a little bit bigger for us. We're also going to talk about the sound of the minor scale and how it compares to the major scale. So the formula, you can make a minor scale built on any note, the following formula. One thing I want to mention is that for every key, every letter key, so for instance C has a major scale that goes along with it, and then it has a major key rather, and a minor key that goes along with it. Same with D. D has a major, and then it also has a minor that goes along with it. Same thing with any letter on the piano, so just pick a random letter. A flat. A flat has a major scale. A flat has a minor scale, or a key. Sometimes I use scale and key interchangeably. A scale is the notes put together in a key that belong in a key right in a row. So I guess that's the way to put it. That's why I use them interchangeably, because notes that exist within the scale also exist within the key, just by the definition and how it works. So anyway, you can make a minor scale, natural minor scale, built on any note with the following formula. So you start on the note, let's say D, and then you move up a whole step, move up half step, move up whole step, half step, whole step, and then one more whole step. You can also create a natural minor scale if you know all of your key signatures. For example, if you start on C and you plan to play the C minor scale instead of the C major scale, if you know your C minor, the key of C minor, which has three flats by the way, B, E, and A, when you get to any three of those notes, just know that they're flat instead of, natural. Or natural is what we call a note that's not flat or sharped. It's just the way it is. So anyway, anytime you get up to an E, you're going to flat it. We have A flat as well and B flat. So if you understand that key signature, it'll make it a lot easier for you, for sure, to play these scales. But anyway, if you use the formula, you can also create a minor scale built on any note. And then if you're going back descending, you want to use that formula in reverse, and that'll get you back to your starting note. So what I want you to do is start on any key. I suggest starting with C and then maybe going to G and D, because those are the easiest to deal with. Don't start with B flat or C sharp, but certainly practice those. Like start on any note. Oops. I keep playing the harmonic minor version. Here we go. So you want to be able to start on any note and be able to play that scale, that natural minor scale. Now we have to talk about the sound, because there's something in the sound that you have to know about, and it's that a natural minor scale in comparison to a major scale, you may notice sounds a little bit darker and sad compared to the major scale, which sounds bright and happy. One thing I think I forgot to mention in the last video, the major scale, is that the major scale has something called the leading tone. This is pretty important, but at least you're here for this video. The next to last note in a major scale is called a leading tone, because it really leads you to that final note. It should bother you to play up a scale and stop at the leading tone. It really makes you want to play that last note, and by definition, a leading tone is a half step away from the note you're starting on. So if you play up to C, before you get to the next C, that leading tone is going to be a half step away. Same thing with D. Your leading tone in D major anyway is going to be a half step away. Now, a natural minor scale does not have a leading tone. There are types of minor scales that do. We'll talk about those later. But they do not have a leading tone, meaning that next to last note is a whole step away and not a half step. So it doesn't lead you back to your starting note, or we call that the tonic if you've taken my music theory courses. One thing I want to show you is here's an example. This is the scale I've been playing most often during this lesson. This is the C natural minor scale, so you can see it written out. Keep in mind, even though the flats aren't written in each individual measure, they are included in the key signature. So always remember that when you're playing a song, even the flats and sharps often won't be written next to every note. They'll be written in the key signature, and then anything out of the ordinary they'll write next to the note, like in the middle of the music. We call those accidentals. So anyway, another mini lesson for you today, and I think that does it. Let me make sure I've gone through the entirety of this. I always never want to skip anything. But take a look through this and understand what a natural minor scale is. Keep in mind of its formula. Keep in mind that it does not have a leading tone at the end, and keep in mind that it sounds sad compared to a major scale. So anyway, thanks as always. Let me bring it back to me actually for the epic conclusion. So anyway, here I am again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Take a look at my website, lessonsontheweb.com, if you want to learn a lot more. I have a lot of content on that site, even though it's not free for the Academy. It's certainly worth it, of course, according to me, but of course, you can look at the reviews too. A lot of the people that have been involved in the Academy have been very happy so far and have been learning tons. So anyway, if you have any questions, Tim at lessonsontheweb.com. If not, I'll see you for the next lesson. Thanks a lot.